Hey there, Hofstra fans. Welcome to this week's edition of the WB Mason Coaches Report right here on GoHofstra.com. I'm Mike Sullivan, joined as always by head coach of the Hofstra women's lacrosse team, Shannon Smith. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing well, Mike, and yourself?
Pretty good, Coach. Over the weekend, a couple of games. First, let's start off against James Madison, a heartbreaker, 3 overtime loss, 9-8 after you led 8-5 in the fourth quarter, in the second half. Excuse me. Just talk about that loss.
Yeah, I mean, exactly what you said. It was a heartbreaker, but I think we rebounded strongly from it for our game against George Mason on Sunday. But I think, on Friday the team played extremely hard and we did everything we could. I think we made some mistakes and we shot ourselves in the foot at the end of the game. And the one thing after that game, which I told the team, is we need someone to step up. Someone needs to go to the goal in the last 15 to 20 seconds, and that was the difference. And we'll learn from it, and now we just got to do it. And I thought the team rebounded very strongly against George Mason, and that's not easy to do, especially after a hard loss that we took on Friday against JMU. But I thought the team did a good job at rebounding strongly and staying mentally tough.
At the beginning of the game against the Dukes, back and forth in the first half, Julia Reamer gets you the first three goals and a couple of nice individual moves from her. What did you see from her in the first half, and that allowed her to be successful?
Yeah, Julia came out strong, and she played with a lot of confidence. I think she took an initiative to dodge right away and take it to JMU and try to make them stop her. And I think her shots were on key on Friday, and she did a great job for us.
Defensively for James Madison, they hold Britton Altamari to 1 assist. And what did they do to contain her? A lot of teams haven't been able to do that this season. Did you see them doing anything differently defensively that you haven't seen this season?
Yeah, I think I think most teams' focus point is going to be her, and I think she just needs to dodge with a little bit more of confidence on Friday against JMU, but I thought she did a good job at dodging and moving the ball and creating openings for her other teammates, and a lot of other girls stepped up, and that's what we need. Is you need a team offense, and we need other people to step up. So if you try to take out one person, we have other people that are going to step up and take that role over. So I think she just needs to dodge and dodge hard and dodge with confidence, but I think she draws a lot of attention, so it allows other people to be open in our offense, and it caused a lot of people to step up for us on Friday, and they did a good job at that.
You now have lost, your last 3 losses have been in overtime. Take me through the overtimes against James Madison. It wasn't for a lack of possession. You had the ball, utilized a couple of timeouts, trying to set something up. You just couldn't get that elusive game-winning goal. What did you see in the first 3 overtimes? And you had the possession. Why weren't you able to capitalize in the goal column?
Yeah, our defense played extremely tough, and Kelsey came up with huge saves for us. Offensively, we set up the plays. I thought we had the shot a few times in some of the plays, and then when that play didn't work and there was about 15 to 20 seconds left, no one wanted to go to the goal. And I think that's one thing that we talked about is that's what you look for as an athlete. You want to have that ball in the last 15 to 20 seconds in your stick, and you want to be able to get that game-winning goal for your team. So I think it was more or less, just giving them the confidence now that you got to go, and someone's got to step up and you got to go. And at least you tried, even if you don't succeed. But what I told them is I believe that anybody that goes in those last 15 to 20 seconds, I believe that you're going to score, and I'm going to put you in that position if I didn't think you could do it.
The pace of play really slowed down in those overtime periods. A lot of timeouts used on your side, James Madison's side as well. What are you telling your team offensively and defensively as well in those timeouts while you're trying to get set for overtime?
Yeah, I think you're just trying to, the one timeout we called is we set up a play that I thought was going to be a game-winning goal for us, and you're preparing them, all right, this is what's going to happen, this is what we're going to do. If we don't do this, this is what I want done defensively. So, just thinking a couple of steps ahead, because so your team is aware of what you want done, and so there's no surprises on what we want happening on the field, both defensively and offensively, and just going over different scenarios so everybody's clear on what's going on, because it is such a monumental moment in the game.
You bounce back against George Mason, 18 goals. Why the offensive outburst?
I think a lot of confidence, and I think a lot of people, just took out their anger and their frustration, and everything that they held in and that we kept in. After that JMU loss, I think it kind of just exploded against George Mason, and the team played extremely unselfish on the attacking end, and we played very well defensively. And one thing that really stood out to me is that we did very well in our transition game and clearing the ball. That's something that's definitely been hurting us, and that's something we did well in.
Britton has a bounce-back game. She's now 7 assists away from setting the single-season mark here at Hofstra. 4 assists in a regular season. How has her play been taken to the next level now that she's doing it in conference play as well?
Yeah, I think it's a testament to how hard Britton has worked and how bad she wants it. But I think it also, Britton wouldn't be 6 or 7 assists away from that school record if it wasn't for her teammates, catching the ball and putting it away. And I'm sure Britton would say the same thing, that they give her the space to dodge one-on-one to score the goals, but also they're the ones that are catching her ball. And I think she just works really hard. She comes in and asks questions. Luckily for her, kind of played the same position, so we're able to talk about that and guide her. And I think she's been doing a great job for us, and the offense as a whole has been doing a great job. And more is going to be expected of her, and hopefully she can continue to play well for the remaining 3 games of the season.
You were able to be effective this weekend as well, without a couple of key contributors in the Jill Mayer and Emily Considine. What do you expect to see from your team while these players are out, and how will they contribute when they come back?
Yeah, you're just going to keep expecting to see people step up, and that's what it's all about. And that's the great thing about being on a team, is you have a lot of depth and you have a lot of people that can step up if someone can't do it. And that's what I'm really expecting, and seeing a lot more unselfish plays like we saw on Sunday. And I'm really excited for the challenge that lays ahead of us this weekend, especially against Towson on Friday night.
Let's talk about that matchup against the Tigers. Maybe your biggest game of the season. Huge game in terms of the conference, in terms of your conference standings, but of course Towson may be the class of the CAA, the reigning champs. Just give us a little insight on what you've seen from Towson so far this season. Yeah,
Towson's a great team, and I think their record does not do them justice at all. I think they played a very competitive, front-loaded schedule that really got them prepared for conference play, and they're extremely well coached. They got a lot of players, and their offense is really clicking. They have a tough defense, so I'm really excited for the challenge, and hopefully our team is ready to come to play on Friday night.
Have you seen anything that they do specifically that sets them apart from the remainder of the teams in the CAA? Of course, James Madison was ranked at 1 point this season. Towson takes them down 16-10, puts up 16 goals in the Dukes. So have you seen anything specific that you can point to that really says why Towson is such a good team?
I think they are very confident, and they're confident in their ability. They believe in their coaches, and when you play with confidence and you're believing in what's going on, it's a whole different story on that field. And I think that's the difference between them right now, is they have a lot of confidence. And if your team has a lot of confidence and you got a few players that are hot, in which they do right now, they got a lot of players that are hot on the attacking end, with scoring a lot of goals here in bunches in the last few games. So when you have that and you have a couple players that are hot on your attacking end, you got a confidence team. It makes a world of a difference.
When you prepare, not just for Towson, but for any team in general, defensively, do you, in a week, adapt a little bit to your scheme, to what an opposing team does on offense, or is it simply, a system game where you're going to play your same defensive type of system each and every team that you play, or are you going to adapt differently to what Towson will do on the attacking end?
Yeah, I think we take each game and each team differently. It's a different approach, and we try to figure out how can we strategize to play to our strengths and make the opposing team play to their weaknesses. How can we take their strengths away and expose their weaknesses and make them play to their weaknesses? And we try to come up with a good team strategy, and at the end of the day, it's about a team defense, and everybody's got to do their part, and they have to trust in what we're doing and trust themselves.
Finally, Coach, what do you build on in practice this week, heading into Friday night and the rest of this weekend for your team to prepare yourself best to potentially pull off the upset against Towson Friday?
Yeah, I think we just got to keep doing what we're doing and keep working hard and really work in high-pressure situations so our kids are ready for that. And, just keep doing what we're doing. And that if you want to move on in your season, it's about survival right now, and every game, it means a lot.
For head coach Shannon Smith of the Hofstra Women's Lacrosse team, I'm Mike Sullivan. Thanks for tuning in to the WB Mason Coaches Report.